She died in the early hours of Friday morning, and by 9 o'clock I found Diaspora funeral cash. And I was really panicking if I was going to make it for my daughter's burial. Then by 3:30, I got an alert on my phone that some money has gone into my account.
Right.
And I checked, it was some amount of thousands of dollars, of pounds. I bought my ticket and I went to Zimbabwe. It was a straightforward thing. Having lived in England for so many years, if I say that I've managed to save up money in my account, I'll be lying. Because in this country, all the money goes to bills. If I didn't have Diaspora, I wouldn't have gone to bury my daughter because I couldn't afford it. Hama dzangu, hama neshamwari dzangu, kukumbirai chikumbiro ichi because hapana chinhu chinonyadzisa kuti mukoma ari kudiaspora baba vachivigwa segonzo kuZimbabwe. Ndinokukumbirai kuti mutore mapolisi ekudiaspora funeral cash plan, nekuti diaspora funeral cash plan inobatsira. Ini yakandibatsira zvekutoti naizvozvi handikwanisa kuti ndinovatenda chirudzi because zvimwe zvinhu ndakazvibhadharirwa ndisati ndatombosvika kuZimbabwe kwacho ikoko. Zvese zvanga zvabhadharwa. Changa changosara kungotora mwana wangu nekumuragidzika mumba nekusumuka naye kuseni, masikati chinomuviga kumakuva. Zvese zvanga zvakabhadharwa, uyezve ndakakwanisa kuenda. Mari yacho yakasara, chenji yakasara ndakaipuwa inini yese, ndikakwanisa kutenga tikiti rekuti ndikwanise kukwira ndege ndinoviga mwana wangu. So ngiyanicela zihlobo zami ukuthi if andikaijoini Diaspora funeral cash plan niphangise ukuyijoina because iyanceda kakhulu.
My husband had gone on a holiday to Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, he got sick while he was there. Then he passed away. And when I heard the news, I had to contact Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. And they didn't give me any problems. They just did send me a form, and I filled in the form, and they were ready to do anything here in the UK or in Zimbabwe.
Okay, so when you say they were ready to do anything,
regarding financially, they were ready to give me the money for the funeral here in the UK or even in Zimbabwe. They were ready to give me US dollars. I would advise us, all Africans in the diaspora, whether you are from West Africa, another African country, to join a funeral policy for peace of mind. If anything happens to one of your families, there's a funeral plan for families, and it's very affordable, and you can do it. I know you Africans from Africa, you can do it. Please join Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
I joined Diaspora Funeral Police when my father passed away. Without them, I don't know where I could have started with all the things I covered for the funeral. For me, to be honest, Diaspora Cash Plan, it was very easy, good transaction. It was only a matter of a phone call. Then they said they would do everything the rest. To be honest, by end of the day, I got the settlement.
Hello viewers, my name is Mrs. Chiwoniso Dorothea Macheru. What I'm going to say now is rather overwhelming. In November, on the 20th, on a Sunday, we got a call to say our mother was not well. We hoped she would get better, but the next day she passed away. On getting the news, we were heartbroken. I was, but because I knew that I joined Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan, I had pain, but no problems with money. So I phoned them immediately. The same thing again. They told me that, right, we'll arrange your money and everything. Don't worry, my Macheru. They sent me an email. I filled it in. And in an hour, the money was again in my account.
From Norway, Diaspora, I'd forgotten about it, but they phoned me and said, oh, Mrs. Jongwe, we need your bank details. We need to put money into your account. They were very sorry about the loss. They were very supportive. And you know what? In times like this, that's when you need people like Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
Amen. Amen.
They really stood by me at a time when I was jittery and confused and not knowing what to do. It was a very difficult time for us, but I want to tell you, we were strengthened by Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. They kept on phoning and make sure we're safe and make sure we got our flights and made sure we had gone. And even when we were in Zimbabwe, they phoned and spoke to my daughter who is there to make sure we'd arrived safely and with our money on us and how was everything. They are a caring, they are not just a business, they are family. They are very supportive.
Very effective.
We went the following day to check for our mother's casket, which was about, not a very good, it was good, but a cheaper one. And we bought the most expensive one in that shop.
Yes.
I and my sister had to put $1,000 each to make sure we give our mother a decent and dignified burial. We wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have made it without Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. I am so thankful. I want to encourage you all, Zimbabwean people here in the United Kingdom, Mothers Union, Zinafi, Koki, Zidlofukas, Mtokas Queens, all the groups that I'm affiliated to, and even all those people who don't know me. I'm talking to you, I'm Dorcas, I'm Mrs. Jongo. I'm talking to you from the bottom of my heart. Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan will never leave you alone. They are with you in the most difficult time of your life. I am very thankful. Join together with your families, your children, your extended family. Make sure everybody is covered. My 75-year-old mother was covered and she rested in a very good coffin in peace. I thank you, Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
It was a funeral, not Namo. When I came back, I encouraged all my family members, the whole clan. They've since joined this Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan because it's family, it's reliable, it's supportive, it understands, it's for us. We are here for them and they are here for us.
We had a situation where we had death in the family before I joined the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, Priscilla, introduced me to Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan because we had when this death happened in the family, we couldn't afford to pay for the funeral. It was so expensive. I decided to cover them because I realized that if death will come suddenly without you even knowing that somebody's gonna die and you won't have the money. So I thought I would rather cover everybody with the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. Before my mom's passing, I personally was covered on a 10,000, and then because of the service and how the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan in the UK and in Zimbabwe, the way they treated us, I decided to increase my money to 20,000. To my friends and family and everyone out there, my advice is never underestimate a diaspora death, because if somebody happens to die in the family, whether you are in Zimbabwe or in the UK or the US, or anybody who is a Zimbabwean citizen who is in the diaspora, if you have a diaspora funeral cash plan policy, you don't have to borrow from friends, from even ending up going on GoFund, which will take about 2 weeks or more. I encourage everybody, especially those people in the diaspora, to have a diaspora funeral cash plan policy. The other thing with diaspora funeral cash plan is the application for that policy is very simple. They don't ask a lot of questions, they don't need a lot of things. It's just they don't even need any medical history. And the claim process it's within, my one was within, I would say, I rang them up at 9 a.m. in the morning. They put £500 in my sister's eco cash, and that was within, I would say, 2 hours. By 12, everything else was paid. It was within 12 hours. I wouldn't say 24 hours. It was within 12 hours. Me having a diaspora funeral cash plan, it took away a lot of burden.
So, Mr. Chinyerere, what made you and the Zim Position community group inquire about the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan?
First and foremost, I think it was a work in progress from our own club. We, as a club, we seem to gather so many times. There is one of us departed from this world, or else we seem to gather when there's a party, celebrating and everything like that. But as we're together, we do discuss things which does happen within day-to-day of our lives, and this question of having a pot, some kind of a pot, whereby we can save some money in case of if one of us, does depart. It has been always circulating within the club. And so when we heard about you guys, it was an opportunity not to miss each and every member. I mean, people were just up for it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you and your family have joined then?
Oh, indeed, yes.
And since you joined with your family, what difference has it made to your everyday life?
To be honest, it does give some kind of security. Yes. Unfortunately, one of our members, who happened to be the former chairman of the club,
right,
lost his mother-in-law back home in Zimbabwe. When it happened, then straight away, I think they contacted you guys, and he rang me after the funeral of Mike, and I was like, you know what? True to their words, within 24 hours, we got the help we deserved, and everything just went well. My advice to other chairpersons within the Zimbabwe community, I think, is just to encourage their members to be part and parcel of this blessed organization. I mean, not to chairpersons only, as individuals, as Zimbabweans as well. It's vital to join such a plan, because that's the only way and that's the only deal in town, and you have your dignity.
Fellow friends, family, and my Zimbabwean diaspora,